Today's video is how to set the stop nut on the main clamp screw. The screw first would have to be cleaned with a primer. Get the threads clean so that when you put on the permanent Loctite, it holds the nut in the set position. How do you set the nut? We'll show you now. The washers are all special. You can't just use any washers. I've provided washers in the replacement kit, and the standard washer needs to go back on the main screw. So after you clean this main screw, again with the Loctite primer so that the Loctite will adhere. If you need to chase this screw, you can use a reamer and go in there and chase it off. You need to go through the nut. You can go with one of the 5/8 taps. So now what you do is place the permanent Loctite on the screw. And you don't have a lot of time with permanent Loctite. You screw it back a little bit further than the thread. And then you bring the washer and you bring it up and you put the head on it. You take your spacer block, tighten it on, make sure that it's nice and snug, not too tight, but nice and snug, and then spin your stop nut all the way in and snug it on, and now it's locked in position. Once it's locked into position, you'll come around later and you'll tighten the set screw. It needs to sit for 24 hours for it to get into perfect hardness. Once you have that done, you just back it off, tighten up your set screw, it'll be in position, back off your clamp head, and then you're going to put in your 7/16 washers that are provided in the maintenance kit. This is a 7/16 retainer clip you can get at Home Depot. These are all standard items except for the washers. The washers are all mic'd out. And you have to set it this way. Once the lock nut is set, if you want, you can weld it. Put a little tap weld right there, and then it will never come off. If it wears down, then you just have to cut it off. These are all replaceable as shown on the website. Okay? It's not that hard, but you do need to do it correctly. Clean the screw with the spray, permanent Loctite, and then set it in that fashion. The screw goes back, put the washer on, put the head on, put the block in there, bring it all the way in, tighten it. The Loctite, spin your nut on again, let it sit, and then when you take it off, tighten the set screw. Right here. And then adding the clips and the washer in front is shown in the other video. So that's how you replace this nut. I have an endless supply of maintenance parts, but they aren't free. As you can see, this is all custom. This nut is tapped with a set screw. This is a machine screw. It's very expensive. So be careful, as I've said. Follow the instructions.